How can you connect with Akasha through the four elements? Before I go into explaining this, we must first understand that the Akasha is what gave birth to the four elements themselves. And when we cultivate our internal alchemy, what we do is that we would build up these elemental qualities into the different parts of our bodies. From below the hip area, we would maximize the earth quality. So we would sit in that, building up the earth element for anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, build it up into our stability, into the root chakra. And then within the belly region, we would pack the water elements. We would accumulate the water around us and then build that into the water region. The chest area, we will pack and build the air element, and then the head region, we would build up the fire element. And as we build these elements up, so you can perceive almost like the air and fire is more of the yang quality, whereas the water and earth is more of the yin quality. The yang is to doing, the yin is to rest. So in between that, we have the solar plex, and this is really the access point to the Akashic realm within our anatomic structure. So once we've built up the elemental quality within each of the body parts, then we would go into the solar plex and bring our mind into a focused state in the solar plex itself. And it almost feels like a vacuum that kind of sucks our consciousness into that region and dissolves our mind into the Akashic field itself. Then we can expand that quality out into the space around us. And as we continue to expand it, you can almost feel the effects. It's not the Akasha itself, but the body's response to the Akashic field being open. And you could feel that throughout your body, and almost like this drunkenness feeling. It feels like you're suspended in space, right? And it's like a dissolution of space-time. It's like the sense of time just becomes non-existent. You don't know if you sat there for 5 minutes versus like 5 hours. And on top of that, when you close your eyes and you're not in Akasha, you almost get the sense of a phantom body. You know where your limbs are, and you know that like your hands, if I go like this, although I'm not looking, I know that I'm touching my elbow area, right? But when you're in an Akashic state, the phantom body and your perception of your body dissolves completely, and so dissolves your ego and your sense of self. Now, having said that, when you go into your Akasha, there's different ways to actually get deeper into the feeling. And you will know this based on your own elemental makeup and your own propensity. So although it's important to balance the four elements in order to access the Akashic state, depending on your life path and how you're born into this world, you will find that some elements speak to you more than other elements. And you almost have a strength in a particular element. When I say strength, more like an intensity towards it. So the intensity towards the positive of that element, but also towards the negative of that element. So for me, for example, that is fire. So I have the propensity of having a lot of courage, having confidence, having ambition. But then the flaw of that is to be over ambitious, to overwork, to exhaust myself, to burn out. So depending on the element that you most associate with, there's different ways of using the strength of that element into penetrating into the Akasha. So with the fire element, it's this desire to almost like break through into the Akasha, and you want to go into a very intense Akasha trance immediately, just like that. Whereas the air element, it's like rising into Akasha, and this quality of like almost dissolving, and it's wow, like you don't even realize like when did I get into Akasha? It's like it rises into the field, your consciousness rises up towards it. Whereas someone with the propensity for more of the water element, it feels like you're getting pulled into Akasha, like you're magnetized and you get sucked into that vacuum. Whereas the earth feels like you're getting dropped into Akasha. It's like boom, and like you're there. It's like you go from normal consciousness and boom, down into the Akashic quality. So depending on what your natural personality expression is, you can use that almost as an amplifier to create a stronger and stronger Akashic connection. Whether it's just this continuously rising and your consciousness almost like evaporating into the Akashic field, or if it's like you fire, like you just keep pushing through into deeper, penetrating all the thresholds into the deepest depth into Akashic fields, or just like the earth quality just dropping immediately into the deepest trance of Akasha and just staying there in complete stillness and non-intention, or the water quality just being sucked and pulled into that quality. So those are the different approaches of how you can cultivate the Akashic field through the four elements. So if you have any questions about that, drop us a comment, as well as subscribe to us for more wisdom and insights on my current path of pulling ancestral wisdom from the East and West into my own mystical, spiritual, and healing modality. Thank you, and I'll talk to you shortly.